The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with anticipation. Delegates from hundreds of starfaring species occupied their floating platforms or bioluminescent skin, chitinous exoskeletons, or shimmering metallic scales reflecting the soft, ambient light of the colossal hall. They weren't here for the usual drudgery of trade disputes or border clarifications. No, today's session was special. The humans were about to present their latest technological breakthrough. From the council center podium, Speaker Zyra of the Zeltheri clicked her mandibles in impatience. Humans, she muttered under her breath, her neural translator rendering the word with a tinge of exasperation. Earth's delegation stood out, as they always did, not just because they insisted on wearing tailored clothing instead of biosilk or exosuits, but because their expressions, smirks, mostly radiated the kind of cocky confidence that made the rest of the galaxy collectively sigh. At the forefront of the human delegation stood Dr. Marcus Elwyn, a tall man with salt and pepper hair and sharp blue eyes. Next to him, Captain Talia Vega of the Terran Defense Fleet loomed in her stark navy blue uniform. They looked every bit the stereotype of humans, overconfident, defiant, and annoyingly unpredictable. Sarah raised her elongated forelimb, calling the assembly to order. Representatives of Earth, she began, her voice echoing, you have requested this audience to demonstrate an advancement in shielding technology. She emphasized the last two words with a skeptical tilt of her head. Given your species' recent record of overpromising and underdelivering, we trust this will not be another frivolous waste of the Council's time. Dr. Elwyn smiled broadly, ignoring the not-so-subtle insult. Madam Speaker, members of the Council, I promise you that this is no frivolity. Today, humanity presents a technology that will change the balance of power across the galaxy. The chamber fell silent. Even Zyra's mandibles stopped clicking. For all their flaws, humans had a knack for surprising everyone when it mattered most. Elwyn pressed a button on the holopad in front of him. The chamber lights dimmed as a 3D projection of a Terran battleship appeared above the podium. It was a sleek design, much smaller than most Galactic Council ships, but its hull shimmered with an unusual, almost liquid-like glow. This, Elwyn began, gesturing to the projection, is the TSS Resolute *, equipped with what we call Adaptive Resonance Shielding *. Zyra's mandibles clicked again, this time in annoyance. We are familiar with shielding technology, Doctor. Every species here employs— Not like this, you don't, interrupted Captain Vega. Her voice was calm but carried the authority of someone who had seen battle. Your shields are static, designed to repel energy and physical impacts based on pre-calibrated parameters. Ours adapts. Elwyn took over. The Adaptive Resonance Shield uses quantum feedback loops to analyze incoming threats in real time. Energy weapons absorbed and redirected. Kinetic projectiles neutralized by altering local inertia fields. It doesn't just block attacks, it learns from them. With every hit, it becomes more efficient. The chamber erupted in murmurs. Delegates whispered, chirped, and flashed bioluminescent patterns of skepticism. Zyra waved a limb for silence. Impressive claims, but proof is required. If you have such a ship, perhaps you will allow us to test its defenses. Captain Vega smirked. We were counting on that. An hour later, the Council's testing grounds orbited the gas giant Excelenera. Floating in the void was the TSS Resolute *, its shimmering hull reflecting the soft glow of the planet below. In orbit alongside it were ships from 4 different Galactic Council member species. Each was armed with weapons that could shred through traditional shielding. The Council had chosen these vessels specifically, eager to expose any human exaggeration. From the observation platform, Zyra addressed the gathered delegates. We will commence testing. Humans, prepare your vessel. Council forces will begin with a simulated assault. On board the Resolute *, Captain Vega stood on the bridge, arms crossed as her crew worked seamlessly around her. The ship's AI, Aegis *, spoke in a calm, synthesized voice. Captain, enemy vessels have locked weapons. Initial volley expected in 15 seconds. Raise shields, Vega ordered. The shimmering glow around the ship intensified, becoming almost crystalline. The first volley came from the Vrekaf Dreadnought, Krutharek *, a ship infamous for its particle lances that could vaporize asteroids. Beams of violet energy streaked across the void and struck the Resolute *. For a moment, the human ship disappeared in a blinding flash. When the light faded, the Resolute * was unharmed. In the council chamber, there were stunned gasps. Zyra narrowed her eyes. An impressive parlor trick, but let us see how it fares against continuous fire. On the testing grounds, the assault intensified. Railguns fired high-density slugs, plasma torpedoes ignited like miniature suns, and graviton disruptors distorted space-time itself. The Resolute * endured it all. As the barrage continued, the ship's shields began to glow brighter, shifting hues as they adapted. The adaptive resonance shielding was doing more than holding, it was thriving. Incoming attacks were analyzed, countered, and neutralized with increasing efficiency. Then the resolute fought back. Age's voice cut through the chaos on the bridge. Enemy shields analyzed. Returning energy signatures calibrated, engaging countermeasures. From the ship's hull, pulses of energy lashed out not as weapons, but as precise feedback signals. The Vrekf dreadnought's particle lances flickered and failed. The energy torpedoes from the Zeltharid frigate detonated prematurely, as if confused by their own targeting systems. In less than 5 minutes, the resolute had neutralized the combined firepower of 4 of the Council's most advanced ships without firing a single traditional weapon. Back in the Council chamber, Jera could no longer mask her astonishment. Dr. Elwyn leaned forward, his grin returning. Madam Speaker, members of the Council, we don't just have a new shield. We have a new future. But in the shadows of the chamber, one delegate didn't seem impressed. A cloaked figure, its face obscured, leaned toward its communicator and whispered in a language older than most of the Council's members. They've done it. The humans must not be allowed to spread this technology. Begin the preparations. The Council chamber descended into chaos after the demonstration. Delegates chirped, hummed, and shouted in their respective languages, and even the translators struggled to keep up. The shockwaves of the resolute success were felt in every corner of the galaxy. But not everyone was celebrating. The hidden threat. Deep in the Council's archives, hidden within the labyrinthine halls of restricted data, the cloaked figure moved silently. Its clawed fingers worked deftly at a terminal, bypassing layers of security protocols. The figure, an agent of the hegemony of Calthir, a secretive empire operating on the fringes of Council space, had one mission. Stop humanity before they became unstoppable. A hiss of satisfaction escaped its mandibles as the screen lit up with classified files on the Terran Defense Fleet. It scanned rapidly, stopping at one marked Project Aegis. Fools, the agent muttered. They didn't just create a shield. They created a weapon. The file detailed the adaptive resonance shield's secondary function, an experimental offensive mode that could destabilize enemy shields, overload weapon systems, and even cripple entire fleets. If deployed in mass, human ships wouldn't just be invincible. They'd be the deadliest force the galaxy had ever known. The agent whispered into its communicator, "Prepare the fleet. Humanity will not live to see this power realized." Earth's precautions. On board the resolute Captain Vega stood in her quarters, staring at a hologram of Earth. News of the demonstration's success had already reached Terran Command, and the brass was ecstatic. She wasn't. "Elwyn," she said, turning to the scientist who had just entered, "you know this tech makes us a target, right?" Dr. Elwyn sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Of course I know. Half the galaxy's probably already plotting how to either steal it or destroy us. And yet you went ahead with the demonstration anyway." Elwyn shrugged. "What's the point of a breakthrough if no one knows about it?" Veva glared at him, but before she could reply, the ship's AI, Aegis, interrupted. "Captain, a priority transmission from Terran Command." The holographic display shifted, revealing Admiral Farrow, a grizzled veteran with piercing gray eyes. "Captain Vega, Dr. Elwyn," the Admiral began, his tone grave. "We've intercepted comms traffic from the hegemony of Calthir. Their fleet is mobilizing. We believe their target is you." Vega's jaw tightened. "How large a fleet?" "Large enough," Farrow replied. "We're sending reinforcements, but you'll need to hold until they arrive. Protect the resolute at all costs. That shield technology cannot fall into enemy hands." The transmission ended, leaving a heavy silence in its wake. Hours later, the resolute and its escort of 2 smaller Terran frigates orbited an isolated moon, running silent. They had taken precautions to mask their presence, but Vega knew it was only a matter of time before the Calthir fleet found them. Her suspicions were confirmed when Aegis spoke. Multiple warp signatures detected. Enemy vessels incoming. Vega moved to the bridge, barking orders. "Battle stations, shields to maximum. All hands prepare for combat." In the void, the Calthir fleet emerged from hyperspace, their jagged ships casting ominous shadows against the moon's surface. There were at least 20 of them, ranging from nimble corvettes to massive capital ships bristling with weapons. Elwyn joined Vega on the bridge, his face pale. "We're outnumbered 10-1. "Good," Vega said with a grim smile. "Let's show them what we're made of." The Calthir fleet wasted no time. A barrage of plasma cannons and energy lances lit up the darkness, converging on the resolute. The adaptive shields flared to life, shimmering with kaleidoscopic light as they absorbed and redirected the onslaught. "Shields holding," Aegis reported. energy redirection efficiency increasing by 12%. The Terran frigates moved to flank, targeting the smaller Calthir ships with precision strikes. Explosions dotted the enemy formation, but the Calthir capital ships pressed forward, their firepower overwhelming. Captain Aegis warned enemy vessels deploying boarding parties. As Calthir boarding pods latched onto the Resolute hull, Vega turned to Elwyn. "Get to engineering and protect the shield generator. If they take it out, we're finished." Elwyn nodded, his usual smirk replaced by a look of determination. The ship shook violently as the Calthir breached the lower decks. Vega led a contingent of Marines to intercept. The corridors became a battlefield filled with the sounds of gunfire, energy bursts, and the guttural roars of Calthir warriors. Vega fought with ruthless efficiency, her plasma rifle cutting down enemies with precision. Around her, Terran Marines held the line, but the Calthir were relentless. In engineering, Elwyn and a handful of technicians worked frantically to maintain the shields. The generator hummed with unstable energy as it adapted to the continuous assault. Suddenly, a Calthir warrior burst into the room, its massive frame dwarfing the humans. It swung a brutal energy axe, cutting through one of the technicians. Elwyn grabbed a nearby plasma cutter, his hands shaking as he faced the creature. "You're not taking the ship," he muttered. As the warrior lunged, Elwyn dodged and plunged the cutter into its exposed flank. The creature howled in pain before collapsing. Breathing heavily, Elwyn turned back to the console. "Aegis," he said, "initiate the failsafe." "Doctor, the failsafe will overload the shields." The resulting feedback. "I know," Elwyn snapped. "Do it." On the bridge, Vega heard the A's announcement. "Failsafe activated. Shield overload imminent." "What the hell is he doing?" she yelled. A moment later, the Resolute's shields flared brighter than ever before. The adaptive system had absorbed so much energy that it now erupted in a massive wave of destructive force. The Calthir ships were caught off guard. Their shields buckled under the feedback, their weapons systems short-circuited, and several smaller vessels exploded outright. On board the Calthir flagship, the Admiral snarled, "Retreat." As the Calthir fleet fled, the Resolute floated victorious but battered. In the silence that followed, Vega found Elwyn in engineering slumped against a console. The shield generator was a smoking ruin, but it had done its job. "You're insane," she said, pulling him to his feet. Elwyn grinned weakly. "And you're welcome." From the bridge, Aegis announced, "Terran reinforcements have arrived. Enemy threat neutralized." Vega sighed in relief, but knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen what humanity was capable of, and they wouldn't stop until they either controlled it or destroyed it. "Set a course for Earth," she ordered. "We have a lot of work to do." The galactic response **. The council chamber was in an uproar. The Calthir fleet's humiliating defeat at the hands of the Terran Resolute had sent shockwaves through every starfaring civilization. The footage of the shield overload annihilating enemy ships had gone viral across galactic networks, sparking both admiration and fear. Speaker Zara's voice cut through the cacophony. "Order. Order, I say." The chamber quieted, though the tension remained palpable. Jara turned her gaze to the Earth delegation, her multifaceted eyes narrowing. "Humans, your reckless display has destabilized the balance of power. The Council cannot allow this technology to proliferate unchecked." Dr. Marcus Elwyn, ever the diplomat, stepped forward. "Madam Speaker, with respect, it was the Calthir who attacked us. We merely defended ourselves." Jara's mandibles clicked. "And yet, you demonstrated a weapon that could dismantle entire fleets. How do we know you won't use it to impose your will on the galaxy?" Captain Talia Vega, standing tall beside Elwyn, responded firmly. "Because we're not here to conquer. Humanity just wants to survive. And if you think we'll roll over and let others decide our fate, you don't know us very well." The chamber erupted again, this time in polarized arguments. Some species called for sanctions against humanity, while others, impressed by the Terran's resilience, advocated for alliances. In the shadows of the chamber, the cloaked Calthir agent whispered into a communicator. "The Council differs. We will take matters into our own hands. Activate the strike fleet." Far from the Council's sea of power, a massive Calthir armada assembled near the edge of Terran space. The hegemony had thrown everything into this final assault, over 300 ships, including their largest dreadnoughts and carriers. Their objective was simple: destroy Earth and eliminate humanity before the adaptive shielding could spread. On board the Resolute now stationed above Earth alongside the Terran Defense Fleet, Captain Vega prepared for the inevitable. "Admiral Pharaoh's status report?" she asked, her voice steady despite the tension. The Admiral's face appeared on the holo display. "Our long-range scans confirm it. The Calthir are bringing everything they got. ETA. 3 hours. Vega clenched her fists. How many ships can we muster? Not enough, Pharaoh admitted. Even with our defenses, they'll overwhelm us eventually. Dr. Elwyn, sitting in a console, suddenly spoke up. What if they don't get the chance? All eyes turned to him. I've been working on something. Experimental, he continued. An enhancement to the adaptive shielding. It's risky, but it could turn the tide. Vega arched an eyebrow. Define risky. Elwyn hesitated. If it works, the shields could create a feedback loop that disables the entire Calther fleet in one go. If it fails, we lose the asterisk, resolute asterisk, and everyone on board. Vega finished. Pharaoh frowned. That's a hell of a gamble, Doctor. Elwyn shrugged. High stakes, high reward. It's what we do best. When the Calther fleet arrived, it was a sight to behold. A vast wall of ships stretching across the void. Their weapons charged, glowing ominously as they prepared to unleash hell on Earth. In orbit, the Terran defense fleet stood ready. Human ships, smaller and outnumbered, formed a tight defensive formation around the planet. At the center of it all was the asterisk, resolute asterisk, its shimmering shield brighter than ever before. Battle stations, Vega ordered. Elwyn, are we ready? Ready as we'll ever be, he replied, his fingers flying across the console. The Calther opened fire first. A torrent of plasma, railgun slugs, and energy lances streaked toward the Terran ships. The asterisk, resolute's asterisk adaptive shields absorbed the brunt of the assault, their glow intensifying as they adapted to the barrage. Terran ships retaliated, their precise strikes targeting weak points in the Calther formation. Explosions dotted the enemy fleet, but the sheer volume of enemy firepower began to take its toll. Shields at 75%, Aegis reported. Vega gritted her teeth. Elwyn, now would be a good time for that miracle. Almost there, he shouted, sweat beading on his forehead. As the battle raged, the asterisk, resolute asterisk shields suddenly flared, emitting a pulse of energy that rippled across the battlefield. Calther's ships faltered as their systems struggled to compensate. It's working, Elwyn exclaimed. But the Calther weren't finished. Their flagship, a colossal dreadnought bristling with weaponry, unleashed a concentrated beam of energy aimed directly at the asterisk, resolute asterisk. Impact in 5 seconds, Aegis warned. Vega stood firm. Hold the line. The beam struck the asterisk, resolute asterisk, enveloping the ship in blinding light. For a moment, it seemed the Terran's luck had run out. But when the light faded, the asterisk, resolute asterisk was still there. Its shield shimmered with a new intensity, having absorbed the energy of the attack. Elwyn grinned. Captain, the feedback loop is ready. Vega didn't hesitate. Do it. The asterisk, resolute asterisk unleashed its counterattack, not with weapons, but with pure energy. The adaptive shields, now supercharged, emitted a cascading wave of resonance that swept across the battlefield. Calther ships faltered as their systems overloaded. Shields collapsed, weapons short-circuited, and engines sputtered. The massive armada, moments away from victory, was now helpless. On the bridge of the asterisk, resolute asterisk, Vega allowed herself a rare smile. Target their flagship. Let's finish this. A concentrated barrage from the Terran fleet struck the Calther flagship, splitting it in two. With their command ship destroyed and their fleet disabled, Calther had no choice but to retreat. The victory was complete. Humanity had faced the might of the Calther and emerged stronger,